If you ask me, am I too old to learn a language? My short answer would be no. You're never too old to learn a language. I think age plays a little factor to how well you can learn a language, but it's not going to be the determining factor. If you're 35 and you want to learn English for the first time, then go ahead. Or if you're 45 and you've never ever learned a second language, whatever that is, and you want to start taking up Japanese or Korean or Spanish when you're 45, then go ahead. I really think your age should not be a reason why you should stop trying or why you don't even try. So I watch a lot of videos about language learning and I follow a lot of polyglots, and most of the polyglots that I see, they actually start learning a language when they're over 20, when they're 25, when they're 30, when they're 40. So one of my favorite polyglots, Steve Kaufman, he's from Canada. He speaks 20 languages and he's already like maybe, I don't know, late 60s, early 70s. Don't let the narrative of being too old to learn a language stop you from even trying. But how did this narrative even exist? Why do a lot of people believe that once you pass a certain age, you just can't learn a language anymore? How did that come to be? A lot of people come to think like this because of what is called the critical period hypothesis. So this hypothesis says that the first years of your life, your brain is very good at picking up a language. That's why children pick up things very easily and absorbs information much faster. And that is why a lot of people think that children are much better at learning languages than adults are. But there has been multiple studies, a lot of studies that debunk this myth. If you really think about it, children actually need at least 5-6 years to be able to construct proper sentences. Whereas adults, you hear a lot of stories where adults reach fluency within 1 or 2 years' time. So if you really want to use this argument to make an excuse that, you know, children learn faster than adults and therefore I shouldn't learn, that's just bullcrap. Of course, there's some truth to it. Of course, children pick up sounds much easier than adults, but children do learn slower. And one thing about why a lot of people think children learn faster is also because children are not afraid to make mistakes. When they're starting to learn a new language, they're gonna make a lot of mistakes. They're gonna pick up a random object and say whatever it is that comes to mind. And when they make mistakes, their parents or any other caretakers would correct them. And the process of learning from mistakes for children is a lot faster than adults, because usually adults feel more shame when they make mistakes, and that kind of slows down the process of learning. Other than that, learning as an adult is actually a lot easier and faster than children for several reasons. 1. We adults are more experienced in learning than children. As adults, we have learned a lot of things in life. We have a lot of pre-existing knowledge. With this pre-existing knowledge, adults can relate a lot of things they have learned in the past to new concepts or structures of a language. They can also use these pre-existing knowledge to remember new words. Let's take an example. Let's say you're learning English for the first time and you want to know about all of the prepositions that exist in English, or at least the most common ones. There's for, nor, but, or yet so. And all these 7 prepositions, you can name it as fanboys, and with this you can actually remember all of these prepositions better because of your pre-existing knowledge of what a fanboy is. And then learning new words becomes a lot better because you associate new knowledge with what you have known in the past. So that is why learning as an adult is a lot easier. And learning new words becomes easier because you can associate these new words to what you have learned in the past. So connecting new information to what you have already known or what you have learned in the past actually leads to better comprehension and also longer retention. In other words, you have a lot of reference points to help you remember better. Another reason why learning as an adult is easier is because adults are a lot more self-motivated than children. It's not often the case that children are internally motivated to learn a new language or English unless it's their hobby. As adults, we have a lot more willingness to improve ourselves, to improve our standard of living. Whereas when we were a child or a teenager, we didn't really care about these things. We only cared about having fun, our friends, our schools, whatever. However, as an adult, now we really know the value of learning a second language, and therefore we are more motivated to learn it. And then we can use this motivation as an adult to actually learn much faster than a child would. Children or teenagers, they rarely ever see the importance of taking up these skills, even if their parents or their teachers really tell them that it's going to be important. A lot of times they just don't care. And this is why I get a lot of comments on my videos telling me that a lot of people regret that they did not pay attention to English lessons when they were younger, and now they're like, now I actually want to learn English and I don't have the skills. But as an adult, since you really start to understand the benefit of it, you are internally motivated to learn it by yourself, and that speeds up the learning process. So there are a lot more reasons how adults are actually a better and faster learner than children, but let's just keep it at that for this video. I hope you guys like it, and I hope you guys who are worried about your age, please don't let your age deter you from actually learning English or any other language that you want to learn. So it's just a factor, it's just a number. If any, it could actually be to your advantage. So keep learning, and I hope you like my video, and I will see you next week. Bye bye.